This is the World Cup Morning Show with your host, Soccersteve.
And welcome in everybody to the Ultimate Soccer Show. Got to tell you, a lot of big things happened yesterday in the world of football, some of which were good, some of which were great, some of which were fantastic, but some of which were absolutely appalling. If you're an Irish fan, you the Irish fans, you have my utmost sympathy. Hello to everybody out there. What happened yesterday in Paris, France is an absolute disgrace. Now, this game kicks off in Paris yesterday, and Ireland, I got to tell you, for the 90 minutes, they were the team that had it together. Way more composed than France, and to be honest with you, France didn't look like they were ever going to score. They didn't look like they had a chance. They didn't even look like they had a clue. And with all that talent, that squad, the French squad, did not live up to expectation and didn't even live up to the stature of its squad when you think about all that talent. It was a two-way game. Ireland had their fair share of attacking, were the better team in this game, and rightfully took the lead on 32 minutes through Robbie Keane. And it was a beautiful goal at that. For the rest of the 90 minutes, if you didn't catch the game, Ireland clearly were the better team, dominated the play, and had it all together. No matter what France tried, they couldn't get it done. They didn't have a clue. They didn't look like a national team. And quite frankly, they didn't deserve to win the game. So with the score at 1-0 to the Irish, coming up to the end of 90 minutes, and they had a chance right at the death to sneak it, but Robbie Keane just runs it past the post. It goes to extra time. Now there's where the trouble starts. We get to extra time, and just before the end of the first phase, France grab a goal. Now, if you haven't had a chance to catch it, get onto YouTube, type in, or just put in France 1, the Republic of Ireland 1, and you'll be able to see it on the highlight reels. If you're telling me that's not a handball, I think you need a pair of shades from the optometrist today. If you're telling me that's not a handball, you don't know the rules of the game. And if you're telling me one other thing, that simulation is part of it, you're talking where the sun don't shine. You don't know the rules of the game. That goal stood. The referee didn't want to know anything about the Irish complaints at the time. And at the end of the game, 120 minutes, it's 1-1 in France, but it's 2-1 on aggregate. And the hand of God, don't give me that crap that it's the hand of God. God has nothing to do with cheating in football. Maradona, 86, was a cheat himself. Henry, 2009, is also a cheat himself. It has nothing to do with religion. Football is a religion. You know it is. But the hand of God? Give me a break. What should have happened was the game should have ended at 120 minutes and then the dreaded shootout. That would have been the fair way to go about this and give us a rightful champion from the two-game system to send to the World Cup. Do you think that Blatter, FIFA and the rest of them maybe wanted France to get to the World Cup? Cast your minds back to Eduardo when he dove for Arsenal. UEFA were right down on him. He got a ban. Yes, I know it was relinquished, but even so, he was highlighted. FIFA needs to start thinking about Henry and what his actions actually had happened. This wasn't a club game. This is international football. It wasn't a club that was robbed. It was a nation. It doesn't matter what nation or which two-legged system, but a nation, its people, and its thousands of travelling fans were robbed. Well, obviously there's a lack of integrity in this game, and obviously there's a lack of leadership at the top. Here's a couple of things to think about. Video replay. If we had video replay like tennis, cricket, hockey, NFL football, I don't see we have a problem. I see the coach calls it, the refs review it, and then we move on. On that reviewing, they don't use video replay in football, do they now? What a load of crap. Look at the 2006 World Cup. It wasn't the referee on the field that saw the major incident. It wasn't either two of the linesmen. It was the fourth official sitting on the side of the field watching it on the monitor. That fourth official was the guy that got Zinedine Zidane kicked out of the World Cup final. So if they want to use video replay at their own discretion, they really fell flat on their faces with that one, because that opened the door. So for them not to want to see video replay come in is absolutely ludicrous. They used it on the world stage 3 years ago, and now they don't want to use it. You can't do what you do when you want to. You have to be consistent. So ask yourself, video replay, why don't they use it? It would clear up a lot of the messes, a lot of the issues, and video replay would have proven that Thierry Henry had deliberately handled the ball, cheated the game, and that was what won the game. It would have been overturned with video replay. Incidentally, a deliberate handball is a straight red card. If we get to see more of that, maybe they'd clear it up. Here's another pointer. They're going to put a guy in behind the net. Where was he? Why wasn't he there? If he'd have been there, I'm pretty sure he'd have seen something. FIFA blew that one too. Needless to say, what they need to do is not punish France, but they need to punish Thierry Henry. I'd also like to see the game replayed. Or, for the crime committed by Thierry Henry, I think maybe they want to look at punishing France and maybe kicking France out of the World Cup and awarding their spot to Ireland to save face and to serve as the precedence that they won't condone this anymore. If the governing body doesn't come down and sort things out, who will? If you don't nip it in the bud, and it's way too late for that, let's be honest, but if you don't nip it in the bud, it's going to breed, and it's going to go on, and it's going to breed, and you're going to get divers. You're going to get simulation grown in the game, where 20 years ago, it wasn't part of the game. It was once in a blue moon. Nowadays, it's every game. Also, the referee not wanting to listen. People chasing him. Not just Irish guys. Henry admitted that it was a handball. What's wrong with the referee? Doesn't he like honesty? He's supposed to be impartial. He's supposed to be a conductor of 22 players, and he's supposed to let the players decide the game through the rules. The Irish have been robbed. The Irish FA are looking for a replay on this game, and they're asking FIFA for that right now. Ask yourself, you really think it's going to happen? I don't think so. If the governing body doesn't step up, why are they even there? Now, I could go on and on and on, and I think you feel how I feel about this one. It doesn't matter to me which two nations this was, but it's the case that a nation was cheated rightfully of a shot at going to the World Cup. And from the basis of yesterday's game, which is where I'm going to leave off, it could have been any nation. And ask yourself, if your nation were cheated in the way that Ireland was yesterday by France, you ask yourself how you'd have been feeling today. You ask yourself another question. You've taken the trip from Ireland to go over to France to watch the game. You see your heroes doing exceptionally well, deservedly so, playing the game of their lives against an absolute super French team, and then you're cheated right at the death? How would you feel about it? Wouldn't you want answers? Wouldn't you want the governing body to sort this out? Because that's exactly what it looks like. Enough's enough. Call it as it is. When it comes to cheating in the game, they need to sort it out. The finger points at FIFA on this one. It doesn't just point at Thierry Henry for his handball, or the referee letting it go, or the linesman missing it, or no video replay, or no guy behind the net to see that it actually happened. It points at FIFA. They're responsible. They need to sort this out. And rightfully at the end of the day, if they have the balls, they need to replay the game or punish France and award France's spot to the World Cup to Ireland based upon the way that game finished.